The ugly truth is right in front of us, but no one seems to care. We all know that money influences decisions. But what if I told you the people controlling the narrative around RFK Jr. are on Big Pharma's payroll? And this isn't about politics, this is about health. And who gets to control the conversation? We talk a lot in the carnivore community about the problems with people's health these days, and really comes down to two major things, or three major things: the medical profession, big pharma, and big food. And today I want to talk about big pharma's influence and exactly how much money big pharma has given to some of the senators controlling the narrative around RFK Jr. Think of it this way. If your car salesman was getting regular gratuities sent to them from Toyota, would you be concerned when that car salesman turns around and recommends that the only car that you should get is a Toyota? Following that same logic, why are senators trusted to evaluate a particular candidate when their donors have got so much to lose if that candidate gets confirmed? Let's have a look at the first clip from Senator Elizabeth Warren.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country. And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines.
Now let's look at how much money she has received from Big Pharma. Okay. So this is the opensecrets.org website, and you can actually go to an interest group, in this case pharmaceuticals, health products recipients, and you can filter this by year or cycle, and you can look at all senators and then filter down on particular results. So let's just have a look at Elizabeth Warren's results. All right. So you can see here, she has received $1.2 million from pharmaceuticals health products between 1990 and 2024. Okay, so that is not necessarily all in the last cycle. That is over a period of 34 years. Let's just look in the last cycle. And let's go, Warren. Okay, so in the last cycle, she received about $50,000. And then the cycle before that, we can see that it was 18,500. All right, so it's been building for a while. Okay. So these donations have been building for a while. Now, just before we continue, before anyone thinks that this is about one party or another, I just want to say this is totally not about politics. This is not about a team. This is not about red. This is not about blue. This is about health. Now, I'll show you in a moment on that opensecrets.org website, it shows that all people from all teams, or probably not all people, but most people from all teams have taken money. So this is not about a team. This is about saying, this is ridiculous, right? The people that are making a decision about someone who could impact Big Pharma are receiving money from Big Pharma. No one can say that that is a good thing, right? Doesn't matter which team you're on, everyone's doing it, or most people are doing it. It's not good, right? Like the same as if the Mars company or the Kellogg's company is donating money to these senators when they're confirming someone who could have an impact on those industries or those companies, it just doesn't make sense, right? And so just to prove the point, let's just go and have a look down here. Like we've got people from one team, people from another team here, right? It's very mixed up, right? So this is not a teams thing. Anyway, let's look at the next clip from Bernie Sanders.
He knows the charts. We're paying 10 times more from Europe. That's right. And are you going to commit to us that you will end that absurdity? I think in principle we can. We should end that disparity. Good. Okay. That's great. All right. You certainly have power. You can make that call. Are you supportive of this? I've had nothing to do with leadership. Are you supportive of these onesies?
Okay. And then if we put Bernie Sanders' name in here, into opensecrets.org, we can see that in total he's received just shy of $2 million over the last 35 years. So if we were to go just to the last cycle to see how much, and put in Sanders, I can't type, Sanders here, 38,000. So he's taken less in the last cycle than Elizabeth Warren. And so let's go Sanders again. But the cycle before that, he took more money. Okay, she was only 18.5 in the 2022 cycle. He is 31. So, but overall, he's taken more money, just shy of $2 million. Now, the final clip I wanted to show you, and these particular candidates I'm showing you because they're kind of been the most aggressive or feisty towards RFK Jr. This one is from Senator Wyden.
But during a podcast interview in July of 2023, you said, quote, "No vaccine is safe and effective." In your testimony today, in order to prove you're not anti-vax, you note that all your kids are vaccinated. But in a podcast in 2020, you said, and I quote, "You would do anything, pay anything to go back in time and not vaccinate your kids." Mr. Kennedy, all of these things cannot be true. So, are you lying to Congress today when you say you are pro-vaccine? Or did you lie on all those podcasts? We have all of this on tape, by the way.
Yeah, Senator, as you know, because it's been repeatedly debunked, that statement that I made on the Lex Friedman podcast was a fragment of the statement. He asked me, and anybody who actually goes and looks at that podcast and will see this, he asked me, are there vaccines that are safe and effective? And I said to him, some of the live virus vaccines are. And I said, there are no vaccines that are safe and effective, and I was going to continue for every person. Every medicine has people who are sensitive to them, including vaccines.
Right, so
he interrupted me at that point. I've corrected it many times, including on national TV. You know about this, Senator Wyden, so bringing this up right now is dishonest.
And now let's search for Senator Wyden here. Ooh, I cannot spell today. Ron Wyden. Okay, 1.2. So he's taken 1.2 million. So that's similar to Elizabeth Warren. So Bernie Sanders comes out on top here. Whoops, wrong drop down. All right, and let's just see what Senator Wyden took in the last cycle. 43,000. And in the 2022 cycle, just to keep this the same for everyone. Wow. 2022 cycle, $276,000. That's a lot compared to the other. That's a lot for one cycle. Okay, so you walk into the car dealership, you say, okay, I'm here to buy a new car today and I want to drive something off the lot. And all the car salesmen are running around talking about how wonderful Toyota is. And you say, what about this BMW? No, don't go for that. What about this Ford? No, terrible car. The Toyota is the best one. You are never going to go wrong buying this car. And you think, well, this seems a little bit strange. And then you find out later through opensecrets.org that all those car salesmen are receiving regular additional payments or donations from Toyota week to week or month to month. You would feel ripped off, right? You would go, well, probably I'm not driving the best car. Toyota wasn't the best car. Maybe the BMW would have been better. Maybe the Ford would have been better. Maybe something would have been better. But they were all getting money from Toyota on top of their regular salary. So no wonder they were telling me Toyota was best. So we should all be able to agree. Doesn't matter what party you support. If someone is going to get into a position of power that can actually push back against big food or big pharma, you don't want the people in control of that person getting the job taking money from big food or big pharma. Surely. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, this is not about politics. This is about the principle here. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can like RFK Jr., you can not like RFK Jr. That's not the point. The point of this is the principle of the thing. Because maybe you don't like RFK Jr., but then your next candidate for whatever the thing is going to be in a similar kind of position. So look at this from the principle of the thing. And I'd love to know your comments below. And if you want to see what happens when officials have the wrong incentives, check out this video next.